ever wondered why some men, the Sigma males, seem to master the art of ignoring women? What's the psychology behind it? Dive with me into the enigma that is the Sigma male, an intriguing character often misunderstood by society. These men possess an array of unique attributes that set them apart. The Sigma male is not your average Joe. He is the lone wolf, the introvert, the man who walks his own path. Let's start with their introverted nature. Sigma males are not antisocial, but rather they are selectively social. They prefer solitude over shallow social engagements, not because they disdain company, but because they value meaningful interactions. Their energy is directed inwards, fostering a rich inner world that is just as real and vibrant as the one outside. Self-sufficiency is another cornerstone of the Sigma male. They are self-reliant, independent, and comfortable in their own skin. They don't seek validation from others. Their self-esteem comes from within. This self-assured nature can be intimidating to some, but it's an integral part of their persona. Now here's the crux of the enigma. Sigma males have a tendency to ignore societal norms, including traditional courtship. This doesn't mean they lack interest in relationships or women. Rather, they approach these aspects differently, often contrary to societal expectations. They won't chase or pursue, but instead, they attract. They aren't aloof. They are simply selective. Sigma males don't play by the rules of the game. They rewrite them. Their approach to relationships and interactions is not about gaining power or control, but about maintaining their independence and integrity. They don't ignore women out of spite or indifference, but from a place of self-respect and a desire for authentic connections. Understanding the Sigma male is no easy feat. They are a riddle, wrapped in mystery, inside an enigma. They challenge our understanding of masculinity, relationships, and social norms. But isn't that what makes them so fascinating? Let's delve deeper into the mind of a Sigma male and understand their approach to relationships. When it comes to relationships, Sigma males have a different approach. This approach is largely driven by their inherent need for independence and solitude. They are the lone wolves of the social hierarchy, self-sufficient, introspective, and often misunderstood. Sigma males are not driven by the same motivations as their alpha or beta counterparts. They don't seek validation or approval from others. Instead, they value their independence above all else. This independence is not just a character trait, but a way of life for them. They carve their own path, follow their own rules, and most importantly, they do not let their lives revolve around others. This strong desire for autonomy often leads Sigma males to avoid conventional relationships. They may seem aloof or detached, but it's important to understand that their avoidance is not a sign of disrespect or lack of interest. Rather, it's a reflection of their need to maintain their personal space and freedom. They don't ignore women out of malice, but as a way to preserve their solitude. They are not the ones to engage in meaningless flings or casual hookups. If they choose to be in a relationship, it's because they genuinely value the person they're with. They seek deep, meaningful connections, not momentary distractions. So when a Sigma male ignores a woman, it's not because he doesn't care, but because he values his solitude more than a superficial connection. However, it's essential to remember that Sigma males are not emotionless. They too, like anyone else, crave companionship and intimacy, but they prefer to seek it on their own terms, at their own pace. They don't rush into relationships. They take their time, observe, and when they find someone who resonates with their unique wavelength, they commit with all their heart. Now that we understand why Sigma males might ignore women, let's talk about the psychology behind this behavior. Understanding the Sigma male's mindset can help us better comprehend their actions and perhaps even appreciate their unconventional approach to relationships. Ignoring someone might seem simple, but there's a complex psychology at play. Diving deep into the human psyche, we uncover truths that may not always be pleasant, but are undeniably intriguing. Ignoring someone, for instance, isn't just about turning a blind eye. It's a psychological maneuver that can be traced back to several core principles. First, there's the desire for control. When we ignore someone, we're essentially taking control of the situation. We decide when to engage, what to respond to, and how to shape the narrative. This power play can be intoxicating, especially for Sigma males who value their independence and autonomy above all else. Then, there's the need for space. We all crave solitude at times, a break from the constant chatter and demands of social interactions. Ignoring someone can be a defense mechanism, a way to carve out some much-needed personal space. For Sigma males who are naturally introverted and self-reliant, this need for space is not just a whim, but a fundamental part of their personality. And let's not forget the attempt to avoid potential conflict or drama. Sometimes, ignoring is the path of least resistance, a way to sidestep uncomfortable confrontations or heated discussions. Sigma males, being the independent and non-confrontational lot, often choose to ignore rather than engage in unnecessary drama. But it's important to remember that ignoring is not always a negative act. It can be a strategic move, a way to maintain a healthy distance, or a tool to manage emotional well-being. What matters is the intention behind it and the impact it has on the individuals involved. Ignorance, as they say, is not always bliss, but in the world of Sigma males, it can be a carefully calibrated strategy, a testament to their self-sufficiency, and a reflection of their unique approach to relationships. But how does this psychology translate into the actions of a Sigma male? Let's find out. The Sigma male's approach to ignoring women is far from the common understanding of the term. Let's delve into this fascinating aspect of the Sigma persona. When we say a Sigma male ignores women, it's not about disrespect or disdain. It's not about playing mind games or trying to hurt someone. Instead, it's a reflection of the Sigma's intrinsic nature, their love for independence, solitude, and self-reliance. Sigma males, unlike their alpha counterparts, don't seek validation or acceptance from others. They are self-sufficient, comfortable in their own skin, and don't feel the need to constantly engage in social interactions. This characteristic often translates into an aloof demeanor, which can be mistaken as ignoring by those who don't understand the Sigma mindset. So, when a Sigma man seems to be ignoring a woman, he's actually just being his authentic self. He's not trying to send any covert messages or manipulate her feelings. He's simply living in his own world, maintaining his boundaries and preserving his sense of self. It's also important to note that Sigma males value deep, meaningful connections. They prefer quality over quantity in their relationships. So, if they seem distant or unresponsive, it could be because they are taking their time to explore the depth of the relationship, to understand if it aligns with their values and life philosophy. A Sigma male doesn't ignore women out of spite or malice, but rather as a way to maintain his independence and personal space. This behavior is not a reflection of his feelings towards the woman, but rather a manifestation of his need for solitude and introspection. The Sigma's approach can be misinterpreted by those who are used to more traditional, outward expressions of interest. It's easy to mistake their independence and self-reliance for indifference or lack of interest. But remember, a Sigma male's silence isn't necessarily a sign of disinterest, but rather an invitation to understand them on a deeper level. So, what are the implications of this behavior on their relationships? Well, let's discover that in the next chapter of this intriguing Sigma story. The Sigma male's behavior can have intriguing effects on their relationships. With their tendency to keep to themselves and often disregard the social norms, Sigma males inevitably create a sense of intrigue and mystique around them. Their aura of mystery can be quite alluring to some, sparking curiosity and attraction. This silent strength and independence that Sigma males possess can be a breath of fresh air in an often noisy and demanding world. They march to the beat of their own drum, and in doing so, they attract those who admire their authenticity and self-reliance. However, while this can create an allure, it can also lead to misunderstandings and confusion. The Sigma male's tendency to ignore women is not a strategy to belittle or disrespect. Rather, it is a reflection of their need for solitude and their preference for meaningful interactions over trivial small talk. It's their way of filtering out inauthentic connections and preserving their energy for the relationships that truly matter to them. However, not everyone understands this. When a Sigma male ignores a woman, it can often be misinterpreted as disinterest or even arrogance. This could lead to feelings of frustration or rejection, causing potential partners to withdraw and creating a barrier to deep connection. This is why understanding the Sigma male's behavior is key. Recognizing that their aloofness is not a personal affront, but rather a part of their nature, can help in navigating relationships with them. It's about respecting their need for space, appreciating their depth, and understanding that their silence is not an absence of interest, but a sign of discernment. In the world of relationships, the Sigma male presents a unique challenge. They are not the easiest to understand, nor the simplest to connect with. But for those who appreciate depth over surface, silence over noise, and authenticity over pretense, a relationship with a Sigma male can be a beautifully enriching experience. Now, let's summarize what we've learned. The Sigma male's approach to relationships is indeed a fascinating study. We have delved into the labyrinth that is the Sigma male, dissecting their unique traits and characteristics. These lone wolves of the social hierarchy, with their introverted nature and self-sufficiency, have shown us a different perspective on masculinity. Unlike their alpha counterparts, they thrive in solitude, embracing their independence and often choosing to stray from the center of social circles. We have also explored the Sigma male's approach towards relationships. They are not driven by the idea of seeking validation from others, particularly women. Their indifference is not a tactic, but a reflection of their self-contained nature. They prefer to focus on personal growth and self-improvement, rather than investing their energy in pursuing romantic interests. Then, we delved into the psychology behind the act of ignoring women. It's not about disrespect or disinterest, but rather a strategic move to maintain their autonomy. They do not ignore out of spite. Instead, it is a reflection of their preference for maintaining emotional distance while focusing on their personal journey. We also discussed the implications of this behavior on their relationships. It can be perplexing for those on the receiving end, often leaving them confused and intrigued. This mystery around the Sigma male can ignite curiosity, leading to a magnetic attraction. However, it's important to remember that they value their space and solitude, and any relationship with them would need to respect these boundaries. In conclusion, Sigma males, with their unconventional approach to relationships and their act of ignoring women, offer a different perspective on masculinity and relationships. They remind us that there is no one-size-fits-all in matters of the heart, and that every individual, like Sigma males, has a unique way of navigating the world of relationships. Remember, understanding is the first step to acceptance, and with Sigma males, there's a lot more than meets the eye.